What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, and I'm in the Bronx, and I'm gonna be exploring the neighborhood of Pelham Bay, all the way deep far up in the Bronx. Heard a lot about the neighborhood, but I've never been here, so I decided to come here and explore. I heard it's a pretty nice residential area, and it comes with the name after Pelham Bay Park, which is actually the biggest park in New York City. So it's surrounded by the park, and it's served by the 6 train line. So I'm gonna start walking around here, see what the neighborhood has to offer. Then I'm gonna be digging in deeper into the neighborhood to see what's going on. So I'm gonna take you guys with me, so join me. So far, as soon as I got off the subway stop, pretty quiet, not much going on over here, and I see a lot of residential going on. So I'm just gonna make it to Middletown Road, which is served by the subway train. There's 3 stops over here. The last stop is the Pelham Bay Park. But I'm gonna walk around the road over here, make it to another main street and see what's going on. First thing I notice is a pizzeria over there. So I think they got some good pizzerias in this neighborhood. It's actually a Chinese joint, so now I'm just gonna make a left over here, and it's pretty nice, you know, pretty residential like any neighborhood around New York City. So let's see what can we find. And over here you can see a lot of trees, apartment complex. That's like if you make a detour in some of the regular streets outside the main street. And one thing I noticed, not only with this neighborhood, but mostly around the 6 train line, is that the Bronx is pretty diverse. Like a lot of people think it's mostly black and Latinos, but I've seen people like Middle Eastern, Indians, like Southeast Asians. So I see a little bit of everything. And there's also like a neighborhood not too far from here called Little Yemen, so served by Middle Eastern community. So I walked by it like a couple of years ago, and it was pretty cool. But so far I'm liking what I see. Like you can see beautiful houses. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Riverdale. And I guess the norther you go in the Bronx, the deep far you go, the nicer it gets, the safer it gets. So you can see, served by a lot of nice houses. So yeah, beautiful. I think a lot of the houses or apartments are made out of brick buildings, so they got the typical brownish colors. So I'm gonna make a left over here, see what some of the residential street looks like. And it kind of has like a vibe of a small town. But so quiet, I don't see much people unless I go to the other subway stop. That's probably where everything's gonna merge, and you'll see a lot of restaurants and activity going on. So let's see. And just look how nice and quiet the street is, with nice houses. Actually, I think one of my coworkers live around here. So like I say, in some point resembles Riverdale, but it also resembles the Irish neighborhood I filmed. It's actually in the Bronx, Woodlawn Heights. And this here takes you to, I think, Crosby Avenue, which is another main street that connects you to a busy intersection. But yeah, you can see all lovely, nice houses over here. This one looks like a lighthouse. Beautiful. And the trees are something like the nature, you know, gives it like a really nice, pleasant vibe. I know a lot of people, they try to avoid coming to the Bronx, but the Bronx is like a mystery, and it's like a hidden gem in New York City. I'm gonna make it to another main avenue over here, Crosby Avenue, and I see more happening. You can see some business going on. And there's a Walgreens over here, and the subway stop is over there. And I think there's like a pretty interesting intersection that connects everything based on what I researched online. Vito's Deli, not sure if it's like an Italian deli. And you got a market over here. So it's pretty cool. Beauty salon. That's one thing I like when you walk around and you see like markets like this, vegetable and fruits. We're not sure if this is like a, it says carrying tree, not sure if this is like a daycare or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So even here you got a smoke shop. And And this, and I pass a pizzeria, then Gourmet Deli. Loving this neighborhood so far. Another pizzeria across the street. So it's like a lot of pizzerias over here. And I heard the Bronx got some really good pizza, you know. Also Brooklyn, just gotta dig in and find the best. This is a pretty interesting intersection by Burr Avenue, and like a lot of streets call out over here. Like I guess it's like the Bronx version of Times Square. You can see like a lot going on over here. The subway line. And you got little streets like this, a laundromat, and then it takes you to tiny streets over this. But yeah, I think there's like an Irish community over here too, and really diverse neighborhood, but so far pretty nice, so I'm loving it. So this over here is Westchester Avenue, and it takes you to the last stop of Pelham Bay. And also like a lot of business, you know, the subway line passes over here. But it's a little bit more laid back over here, but I like it, you know, residential. And I think it could be a good neighborhood, you know, for a family. I know there's a lot of laundromats over here. And you got an Italian restaurant. Like different type of restaurants compared to other neighborhoods in New York City. Just all like family restaurants that you can sit in, pretty big, you know, and dine in. But yeah, pretty cool, you know, really lovely neighborhood. Now I'm just making a detour to walk around some of the residential streets over here to see what it looks like. Like I say, this is probably one of the most peaceful neighborhoods I've been around the Bronx. Probably New York City too, like really quiet compared to other neighborhoods, but so far, you know, pretty interesting experience. So far you have an idea. Not too many cars, not too many traffic. Lovely apartments. So I'm gonna walk probably to Mayflower Avenue, make it right. Do another right, then make it back to the main street. But I just want to get an insight of the neighborhood. And based on the research I did, it's actually one of the best neighborhoods in the Bronx, with Riverdale too. But I think here it feels more like a city vibe than Riverdale, but with a suburban feel. You have an insight. There's beautiful apartments. Not sure if you can see it clearly because of the sun. But then over here you got some nice houses. And this house kind of resembles the one in Morris Park, which is a neighborhood here in Bronx too. Not too far from here, by the 5 train. And the neighborhood is served mostly by Italians, Albanians, but a little bit of diversity. So they got houses like this. You even got your own parking. And like I say, most of the buildings here are built out of bricks. And then I like the vegetation too, a lot of trees. That's something pretty important too, you know. Help out with the climate, especially in a big city like New York. There's some lovely houses over here. And then on the other side, I think there's like a highway, and then there's a couple of high-rise buildings right there in the back. But yeah, a lot of neighborhoods here surrounded by the 6 train are really good and pretty worth to explore. So I think I gotta hang out more over here. So I made it here to a local park. Really nice people chilling around here, you know, just doing their thing, chilling. There's a basketball court, kids, there's a highway over there. But this is not even the main park. The main park is Pelham Bay Park, which is on the other side. And like I say, it's the biggest park in New York City, so I've never been, so I'm probably gonna end the video over there and walk a little bit to see what's going on. But so far, really impressed with this neighborhood, Pelham Bay. And like I say, the Bronx is worth taking a visit to explore different areas. So here's another street. 194th Street, and also another beautiful street with its houses. And like I say, it feels like you're a little bit in the suburbs. But when you go to the main street, you can still see you're in New York City, but yeah. That's the beauty about exploring, seeing all the diversity happening around. And you see like the mixture of houses with apartment complex. Then more over that way. And the street will take me to the main street where the subway line is, the 6 train. And then at the last stop, I think there should be like an overpass that takes you to the park. So we're gonna walk a little bit around there to see what's going on. So I'm back in Westchester Avenue. Got a deli over here. Subway line is making a lot of noise. Pharmacy. It's like a lot of beauty salons over here. I noticed that. So I'm right here by the last stop of the 6th train, which is the Pelham Bay, and right behind it is the Pelham Bay Park. So I think there's like an overpassage that takes you to the park, so I'm gonna figure out how to get there. And I'm gonna walk a little bit of the park and show you guys around, because this passed right by the highway. I believe this might be Interstate 95 right here, so I'm gonna figure it out. There's some vendors here right by the station. That's really cool. You see it mostly around neighborhoods like this. The station's here over here. I guess the bridge, the stairs over there, then I go over there. So let me see. So yeah, this is the overpassage that passes by one of the busiest interstate, I-95. Over there where the buildings are, that's Co-op City, which I made a video there a couple of years ago. This street takes you all the way up north, and if you go all the way south, it goes to Florida. So you can get to Boston from over here, then Ultra Beach will be over there, and Pelham Bay Park is around here. Now I'm walking the overpassage, and a lot of traffic jam. There's always traffic over here. Also, if you go a little bit down, they also call it the Cross Bronx Expressway. But yeah, it's so pretty interesting to see Co-op City right there, not too far where all the high-rise buildings are. That is actually the biggest, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's actually the biggest comparative city in the whole world. So, but I'm approaching the park over here, and so far it's looking beautiful. So I'm not gonna walk the whole thing, because like I say, this is the biggest park in New York City, way bigger than Central Park. So, but we're gonna wander around a little bit to see what can we find. And crazy how I'm near the busy Interstate 95, but then you end up in an area like this. Nice. So a lot of vegetation over here, and a good thing, I would have to look at a map over here to figure out where do you want to go, because like I say, this is huge, and there's like water on the other side, and it ends up in another area, and I think Orchard Beach is over there, which I've never been, but it's like a beach here in the Bronx, and during the summer season I heard it's pretty nice and a lot of good activities. Also here in the Bronx, I got City Island, which I've never been there, but it's mainly known for a strip for seafood, a lot of good restaurants, and it feels like you're in a small town, but it's right here in the Bronx, so pretty interesting. So I'm gonna have to come another day to explore this beautiful park. Massive park, but yeah, one day, I'm gonna have to check it out. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video over here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me exploring Pelham Bay in the Bronx. So stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.